Hey family, it's Breon Johnson. I want to share with you from the title of When God Gives You the Blessing of No, or we'll say When God Allows a No. I had an experience on yesterday that I want to share with you. I want to take 10 minutes. I was waiting for a no. I needed a no to move on, and so spiritually and mentally, I was prepared for the no, and I was expecting the no, and I needed it to move on. But then when I got the no, emotionally it took me to another place, and I was in the moment I was totally aware of it, but in the moment I was confused by it, because it was what I was waiting for, it was what I was expecting, it was what I needed so that I can go to the next place. But when I got it, it didn't feel good, right? And so I wanted to investigate that, and I want to share this with you guys. What I realized is that no of the present was emotionally tied to a no of the past. That no in the present immediately in my body resonated, because the body remembers it and keeps score. It resonated with a wound of the past known as rejection, right? And so a lot of times when God allows a no, or when he blesses us with a no, in our healing process, sometimes these things can happen. And this is what happened to me, right? When you've experienced a lot of rejection in your past, right? Even a healthy or a necessary no can feel like a wound. Because it reminds you, because the body, and so it was a healthy no, it was an expected no, right? It was a necessary no, but it reminded me of the wounds that I thought was already healed, right? And so it's not just the word no, right, that happened, or it's just not the words, it's the emotional memory. Come on, it's the emotional memory that comes along with it, that's stored in the body, right? And so sometimes no doesn't feel like guidance or protection or leading to a different way. It feels like abandonment. It feels like exclusiveness. It feels like failure, right? Even when the no is warranted, even when it's for you and you want it, sometimes it can remind you of the emotional wound, right? Because of the memory of it, and it can make you think you're a failure or not adequate, or you're not enough, right? If you don't recognize it and deal with that thing. But look, I want you to know this, that when you start healing, you begin to recognize that not all rejection is a rejection of your self-worth. Sometimes we think the no determines my worth in a person's life, in a ministry, in a calling, in a job. And so I just want you to know, not all rejection or not all no's is rejection of your worth. Sometimes it's the rejection, it's redirection, or it's protection, right? But it can still feel like a wound, an emotional wound, because of your traumatic past of rejection and abandonment, right? But when God gives you the blessing of no, come on, somebody say the blessing of no. When God gives you the blessing of no, hearing no, especially when you prayed for it, you fasted for it, you believe for it, you stretch your faith out for it, right? It can feel like heaven's silent treatment or heaven's rejection, but it don't always mean that, because that's not the whole story. Somebody say that's not the whole story. God is always speaking, right? He even in the silence, he's speaking, and sometimes, right, no is the way of God saying not now, or not like this, or not with these people, right? Or not through them. And so it's not tied to rejection. And number one, I want you to know this. No develops maturity. And that no, a yes can sometimes feel like a blessing, or it can feel like favor, right? But a no is where you trust it at. A no will test your trust in God. A no will make you mature in God. It's easy to shout hallelujah when the doors are open, right? But in real spiritual growth, when that hits you, right, or when it comes to you, you learn how to worship while you're waiting. You learn how to trust God through the closed door. Hebrews 12:11 NLT says this: no discipline is enjoyable. While it is happening, it's painful. But afterward, there will be a peaceful harvest at right living. Look at that there. No discipline is enjoyable, and while it's happening, it's painful, but it's beneficial. Number two is this: no can be God's mercy. We got to understand this. No can be God's mercy. Some doors are shut because God is. We think that doors are shut because God is cruel, but some doors aren't shut because God is cruel, but it's because of what we can't see. It's how he protect us, right? It's how we using our reason to think we should be there, right? And so you didn't get the job, or you didn't get the relationship, or the relationship didn't work, or the opportunity slipped through your hands, right? I want you to know this. He may be saving you from something that looked like a blessing, but was wrapped up in bondage. He may be saving you from something that looked like a blessing, but it was wrapped up in bondage. And I'm going to use Psalms 84:11. It say, no good thing does he withhold from those who walk blameless. If he withheld it, maybe it was good for you or not yet. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. No good thing withhold from the blameless. And so we got that. Number 3 is this, and I'm moving fast because I want 10 minutes, right? No doesn't cancel the promise. Come on. The promise is still the promise, and he gonna get you there, whether it's through a no or whether it's through a yes. You will get there. Abraham heard no, right? When Ishmael was not the seed, he heard no. But he still had Isaac. He still had Isaac. Moses heard no about entering the promised land, but yet he's still with God. Paul heard no when he asked for the thorn to be removed from his side, but God said his grace is sufficient, right? And so in all these instances, none of those no's counseled the promise. God still held true through his promise. 2 Corinthians 12:9 said this, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Sometimes God no is where the power shows up most clearly. It's sometimes in the no when you see the manifested power of God, and it show up in your no. Number 4 is this: no from people is not no from heaven. Come on, no from people is not no from heaven. Don't never confuse rejection don't never confuse rejection by man with rejection by God. Just because man rejected you, it don't mean God rejected you. Man may say you're not qualified, but God said, I don't call the qualified. I qualify the call. That's what God may say. And so even Jesus had no. He came into his own and they rejected him not. And so we understand, and they received him not. And so they rejected him. They rejected Jesus. They dismissed him. They overlooked him, right? But yet he still was on the mission. This promise was still strong. And so are you. Your promise is still strong. You still are there. God still, even it's a blessing. And look, even in the no, it's a blessing. So when he allows a no, or he gives you the gift, blessing of no, listen, receive it, right? And while you're waiting after the no, this is what you do. You keep your heart pure. You keep your heart clean, right? Don't let bitterness grow roots inside of you. You stay faithful. You stand fast. You stay abounding in his word. You stay prayed up, right? You say, God, help me see what you see. This no must be from you, God, but help me see what you see. Show me what you're building inside of me. Prepare me to be that sanctuary. And listen, and begin to keep moving in grace, right? Move in grace, even if you feel like you pause, right? If you're walking through a no seasons right now, just know this: resurrection always come after rejection. Resurrection always come after rejection. You will rise again, right? There is glory again. There will be glory ahead of you. And so listen, I want you to know, if you're in the season right now when God gives you the blessing to know, and it don't feel good and it feel uncomfortable and it reminding you of past wounds, I want you to know that God is able, right? God is able to do exceedingly abundant above all that you can think or imagine, right? And it's not over. I'm letting you know it's not over. And so that current no is connected to a memory of a past, and it's lying to you. That's what it did to me. It lied to me. In my spirit, in my mind, I knew it was good, I knew it was great, and I knew it was God, but my emotions was telling me something else. My emotion was telling me it was failure. My emotions was telling me it was exclusivity. My emotions was telling me I was abandoned. My emotions was telling me that I'm not worthy enough. My God be the glory, right? I'm worthy, I'm able, he's able, I'm more than enough. And I want you to know that it's a blessing in the no. And so I pray for you on the day that you will receive this no as you receive it from God, and that you won't allow your emotions to overrule what you know in your spirit. And so listen, you guys be blessed. I hope you share this. If it's a blessing to you, let somebody know that no don't mean it's over. It's just beginning.